What if the most powerful thing you do for your health today happens before you even leave your bed, before your first sip of coffee, before your feet touch the floor, before the world asks anything of you? What if your next 10, 20, even 30 years of strength and clarity all depended on the first 5 minutes after you open your eyes? It sounds unbelievable, but it's true. Because how you begin your morning, those first quiet, in-between moments can shape how you age, how you feel, and how long you remain independent. Not with expensive treatments, not with endless routines, just small, gentle habits that most people overlook. And the truth, most people over 65 never hear this. Some do, but ignore it. And some, just like you, are about to discover how 5 simple choices each morning can bring back energy, focus, and even joy, no matter your age. If you're watching this, it means something inside you knows there's more ahead. Not just more years, but better ones. So take a moment. Forget the noise. Forget the headlines. Forget the pressure to do everything perfectly. This is about 5 minutes. That's it. 5 calm, intentional minutes that set the tone for your entire day and, if practiced regularly, your entire future. Let me tell you a story. There was a man who used to start every morning the same way: a deep sigh, a stiff roll out of bed, and a quiet frustration he couldn't name. His joints hurt. His energy felt low. His thoughts were slower than they used to be. He thought, maybe this is just getting old. But one morning, something inside him said, what if it's not? What if I just need a new way to start? So he made a small change. He drank water before coffee. He stretched before checking his phone. He gave his mind space to wake up instead of rushing into the day. Nothing fancy, nothing extreme. But after a few weeks, something shifted. He was standing straighter, thinking more clearly, feeling lighter. And the best part, he started looking forward to his mornings again. Maybe you've felt something similar. Maybe you've noticed mornings getting harder, slower, heavier. Or maybe you're caring for someone who has. That's why this matters. Because the way we begin our day is more than routine. It's a message to our body, to our mind, to our spirit. It says, I'm here, I'm present, I'm ready. In the next few minutes, you'll learn 5 simple steps you can do every morning, starting tomorrow. Each one takes less than a minute. Each one builds on the last. And together, they create a foundation for lasting strength, sharper thinking, and steadier energy. We'll talk about how to hydrate in a way that supports your heart, how to move your body to reduce your risk of falls, how to fuel your muscles before they weaken, how to protect your joints before they stiffen, and how to wake up your brain before the fog sets in. No products, no programs, just the kind of wisdom that's been hiding in plain sight. So if you've ever wondered, is it too late to feel strong again? The answer is absolutely not. And if you've ever wished for a simple place to start, this is it. Let's begin. Let me take you into the quiet of an ordinary morning. A man sits at the edge of his bed, 68 years old, retired for a few years now. Outside, the sun is just beginning to rise. The house is silent, but inside his body, there's a kind of noise. Not sound, but discomfort. His knees feel stiff, his shoulders ache, and even after 8 hours of sleep, there's a deep tiredness that won't shake. He sighs. Another day of pushing through, another day of feeling just a little older. That man could be anyone. Maybe someone you know. Maybe even you. But here's what makes this story different. One morning, instead of going straight for the coffee, instead of reaching for the phone, instead of groaning and moving on, he paused and he made one small change. He reached for a glass of water. Not just any water, room temperature, with a squeeze of fresh lemon. That's it. Nothing fancy, no magic powder, no complex routine, just water, and a quiet decision to begin the day differently. Now you might be thinking, how could something that small matter? But here's what most people don't realize. By the time you wake up each morning, your body is already in a state of mild dehydration, even if you don't feel thirsty. While you sleep, your body loses fluids through breathing and through your skin, nearly half a liter, quietly disappearing into the night. You don't notice it, but your heart does. Your brain does. Your blood vessels do. That's why so many heart attacks and strokes occur within the first 2 hours of waking, especially in people over 65. You're waking up dry. And when your blood is thicker, your heart has to work harder to push it through your system. Your circulation slows. Your blood pressure can spike, and your brain may feel foggy, unfocused, or even a little dizzy. But there's a fix, and it's simpler than most people think. Start your day with about 16 ounces of room temperature water, ideally with the juice of about a quarter of a fresh lemon. Why room temperature? Because cold water causes your blood vessels to constrict. That's the last thing you want when your body is trying to wake up, expand, and circulate. Room temperature, or lukewarm water, helps open your vessels, improve flow, and ease pressure on your heart. And the lemon. It's more than flavor. It provides a natural source of potassium, vitamin C, and gentle electrolytes just enough to support your blood pressure, reduce inflammation, and even support collagen production for your skin and joints. Yes, collagen. The same stuff in expensive creams and supplements, but your body makes its own when you give it the right building blocks. And here's something else. Lemon water helps stimulate your liver to flush out toxins, your body filtered overnight. So that glass of water, it's doing far more than quenching thirst. It's restarting your engine, cleaning your filters, opening your highways, and letting your body know. Today, we begin with care. For the man we talked about earlier, that small change became the start of something bigger. Within a few weeks, his blood pressure was lower. He wasn't as lightheaded in the mornings. And that mental fog, the one he thought was just part of aging, began to clear. He started feeling more present, more steady, and more like himself. And all of it began with a glass of water. Now, let's take a moment to make this real. Here's how to try it tomorrow morning. 1. Keep a glass or bottle of water beside your bed before going to sleep. That way, it's ready as soon as you wake up. 2. Use room temperature water, not cold. If you want, leave a slice of lemon ready to drop in or pre-squeeze it into a sealed bottle overnight. 3. Drink slowly, not all at once. Let your body absorb it. 4. Don't reach for coffee, tea, or breakfast first. Let water be the first thing your body receives. If lemon isn't your thing, that's okay. Plain water still works wonders. The key is consistency, not perfection. It's easy to underestimate this step. After all, it's just water. But in a world full of pills and programs, it's often the simple things that work best, especially when they're done first and done daily. This 1 minute of hydration sets off a chain reaction. Your heart pumps more freely. Your brain wakes up more gently. Your digestive system activates smoothly, and your day begins with the message, I am worth caring for. Now, before we move on to the next part of the morning ritual, let me ask you this. How often have you rushed into your day and paid for it later? The headache, the tight chest, the sudden dip in energy. What if that could be prevented with a quiet sip of intention? The truth is, aging isn't just about how your body changes. It's about how you respond to those changes. And this right here is your response. A simple act of hydration, a signal of self-respect, and the first brick in the foundation of a longer, stronger, healthier life. So tomorrow morning, don't start with noise. Start with water. Let's go back to that moment. You've just finished your first glass of water. You're sitting on the edge of the bed, feet on the floor, the light beginning to filter through the window. This is your next opportunity. Because what you do right now in this exact minute can either help your body wake up gently or send it into shock. And for many people over 65, this is where the day goes sideways without them even realizing it. You know that heavy feeling in your legs, the dizziness when you stand too fast, the tightness in your chest or shoulders that seems to linger through the morning. It's not just getting older, it's your circulation. More specifically, it's the way your blood moves or doesn't move after lying still for hours. When we sleep, our heart rate slows, our muscles rest, and gravity pulls blood down toward the legs. That means when you first sit up or stand, your brain doesn't always get the full supply of oxygen-rich blood it needs right away. That moment of imbalance, that short breath, that lightheaded step across the room, it's all your body saying, wait, I'm not ready yet. And that's where this second step comes in. The circulation reset, a simple 1-minute movement routine that acts like a gentle ignition switch, not a workout, not a stretch session, just a soft, intentional way to remind your body it's time to flow again. Because when your blood is moving, everything else follows. Your heart rate stabilizes, your mind sharpens, your energy rises, and most importantly, your risk of dangerous issues like falls, fainting, or morning stroke begins to drop. Let's walk through it together. You can do this entire routine without leaving your bedroom. No equipment, no pressure, just slow, steady movement. Here's how to begin. 1. Stand with your feet shoulder width apart. If you need support, place one hand lightly on a chair or the bed frame. 2. Inhale deeply through your nose as you raise both arms slowly overhead. Stretch gently, but don't force. Feel your chest open, your ribs expand. 3. Exhale slowly through your mouth as you lower your arms back down. Breathe out any tension you've been holding. Repeat this deep breath and reach motion 2 more times. This movement invites oxygen in. It signals your lungs and heart to sync up, and it creates space in your body to move and think clearly. Next, 4. Roll your shoulders backwards in slow, wide circles. Do this 5 times, feeling the muscles between your shoulder blades begin to wake up. 5. Then roll your shoulders forward. Same gentle rhythm. 5 more times. This helps loosen tight muscles in the upper back and neck areas that often carry tension from sleep posture. Now, 6. Lift your heels off the ground slowly, rise up onto your toes, hold for just a second, then lower gently. Do this 10 times. It may seem small, but this is one of the most effective ways to stimulate your lower body's muscle pump. Because here's something you might not know. Unlike your heart, Your lymphatic system, which helps remove waste and support your immune system, has no pump of its own. It relies completely on movement. When you lift your heels, even just a little, your calves contract, and that gently pushes fluid back up through your body. You're clearing toxins, boosting circulation, supporting your balance. And you're doing it in under a minute. Let that sink in. 1 minute, 6 movements, no pressure, no pain, just quiet momentum. Now let's pause and reflect. How many mornings have you rushed through this moment from lying down to fully upright? No transition, no preparation. Maybe you've stumbled or reached for a wall or felt your head spin just a little too long. That's not weakness. That's biology, and it's fixable. This circulation reset is not about exercising in the traditional sense. It's about remembering that your body is a system, and systems run better when they're given time to adjust. You wouldn't start a car and immediately floor the gas. Why should your body be any different? In fact, one of the quiet dangers people over 60 face is sudden movement without warm-up. It can trigger a drop in blood pressure, or a spike, or confusion, and in some cases, it leads to falls, one of the most common causes of hospitalization in older adults. But with just 1 minute of movement, you tell your heart, let's go, but gently. You tell your legs, wake up, support me. You tell your brain, you're safe. Let's start the day. And the benefits don't stop there. This short sequence also helps your posture, your breathing, your coordination, and your confidence, because nothing feels better than standing tall and steady at the start of the day. No more wobble, no more dread, just you centered, balanced, and in control. And here's a tip if you live alone. This routine becomes even more important. When no one's around to catch you, your stability is your freedom. So guard it, invest in it, practice it daily. And over time, these movements will feel less like a ritual and more like a reset button for your entire day. Now, take a deep breath. Roll your shoulders one last time and feel the difference in your body. You're not groggy. You're grounded, not dizzy, but deliberate. You didn't just stand up. You arrived in your morning, and that's what this is about. Not rushing, not forcing, but choosing how you begin. The hydration gave you internal flow. This circulation reset gave you strength and steadiness. Now your body is ready, and in the next step, we'll give it fuel. Because the next morning, mistake one that's costing thousands of older adults their strength is what we'll fix next. Skipping early protein. So don't go anywhere. Let's keep building your 5-minute foundation one simple step at a time. Your body is now hydrated. Your blood is flowing. Your balance is steadier. Your breathing is deeper. You've started the day with care, not chaos. But now comes a moment many people miss without even realizing it. It happens quietly. While you check the weather, while you scroll the news, while you decide whether to eat now or later, it's the silent mistake that accelerates aging faster than almost anything else, waiting too long to eat protein. Now, if that surprised you, you're not alone. Most people don't think about protein first thing in the morning. Some skip breakfast entirely. Others wait until lunch or dinner to get their nutrients. But after 65, your body plays by different rules. And one of those rules is this. Your muscles need protein within the first 30 minutes after waking up, or they begin to break themselves down. This quiet process is called catabolism, and it's one of the leading reasons older adults lose strength. even when they eat well later in the day. Here's what happens. As you sleep, your body enters a fasting state. It's natural. But when you wake up and don't refuel, especially with protein, your body starts searching for energy. And if it doesn't get it from food, it takes it from you. It begins breaking down muscle tissue, tiny fibers in your arms, legs, back, and core are slowly used as fuel. You don't feel it right away. But over weeks, months, and years, it adds up. And the results are noticeable. Less strength when standing up, slower walking pace, weaker grip, less balance, higher risk of falls, lower energy overall, and even worse. Muscle loss increases the risk of frailty, a condition where the body becomes more vulnerable to illness, injury, and dependence on others. But here's the good news. You can stop this. You can slow it down, even reverse it, all by fueling your body with protein early. Not at noon, not mid-morning, not when you finally feel hungry, but right after your movement, right after your body says, "I'm ready." This is what we call protein timing, and it's one of the simplest, most powerful ways to protect your muscle, your mobility, and your independence. Let's break it down. How much protein do you need? The magic number is 25 to 30 grams within the first 30 minutes of waking. It's not a heavy meal. It's not overwhelming. It's a gentle dose of strength that your body knows exactly what to do with. Here's why it works. In your early morning hours, your muscles are especially hungry for repair. They absorb protein more efficiently than any other time of day. So when you give them that protein early, you activate something called muscle protein synthesis, the process that rebuilds and strengthens your tissue. Think of it like putting money into your retirement account, but for your body. Every morning that you skip it, you miss that deposit. But every time you follow through, you're investing in years of steadiness, strength, and freedom. And no, this doesn't mean you need to cook a full breakfast buffet. You have options, and they can be simple. Here are some easy, quick protein ideas to try right after your circulation reset. A scoop of high-quality whey protein mixed with water or almond milk, 4 to 5 egg whites with 1 whole egg for healthy fat and added nutrients, a bowl of Greek yogurt with a spoon of protein powder or a sprinkle of chia seeds, soft tofu with avocado and a pinch of sea salt, a plant-based protein shake made from pea, rice, or hemp, cottage cheese with a few berries or cinnamon on top. It doesn't have to be heavy. It doesn't even need to be hot. It just needs to be timely. If you're thinking, "But I'm not usually hungry in the morning," that's okay. Start small. Try a half shake, a spoonful or 2 of yogurt, a hard-boiled egg. The point is to send your body the message fuel is here. You don't need to break yourself down today. And over time, your appetite may naturally adjust. You'll begin to feel more alert, more stable, more nourished. Now let's talk about what happens when you make protein timing a daily habit. According to long-term studies, older adults who eat 25 to 30 grams of protein within the first 30 minutes of waking experience up to 64% less muscle loss over 5 years, report fewer falls and injuries, show better mobility and walking speed, enjoy improved cognitive function and mood. Why the brain benefit? Because early protein helps stabilize your blood sugar, preventing crashes that lead to mental fog, irritability, and cravings. It also improves neurotransmitter balance, helping your mind feel more steady, focused, and present. And if you're managing weight, blood sugar, or type 2 diabetes, This becomes even more important. Protein in the morning reduces cravings throughout the day, making it easier to choose better meals later on. In other words, this isn't just about your body. It's about your mind, your mood, and your motivation. So tomorrow morning, after your water and gentle movement, take a moment to refuel. Think of it like adding fresh wood to a campfire. It keeps your inner fire burning, not wildly, but warmly. And one more thing. If you're someone who enjoys a morning walk, stretching, gardening, or caring for someone else first thing in the day, protein helps you show up stronger for all of it. Because when your body is supported, you are supported. You have more energy to give, more steadiness to carry, more resilience to move through the hours ahead. And isn't that what we all want to move through life, not dragging, but dancing, not dreading, but showing up, not just getting older, but growing stronger. And so, with this third step, protein timing, you give your body the building blocks it's been quietly asking for. You say, I'm here for you. We're not done yet. Now your body is hydrated, flowing, and fueled. But one more system still needs your care. And it might be the most overlooked of all, your joints. Because even if your heart is strong and your muscles are fed, if your joints are stiff and unprepared, your morning can still slip into pain, discomfort, or injury. That's why, in the next step, we'll move gently into mobility to protect your independence, to restore your confidence, and to honor the body that's carried you this far. Let's continue. You've already done more for your health this morning than many people do all day. You've rehydrated your system. You've restarted your circulation. You've fueled your muscles with protein. But now, it's time to protect something equally important. Something most people don't even think about until it's too late. Your mobility, the freedom to move without stiffness, the ability to bend, twist, reach, and step without pain, the quiet confidence of knowing, I can do this on my own. But as we age, that confidence can slip. Not because we're lazy, not because we're broken, but because we stop preparing our bodies for movement. See, every night as we sleep, something happens inside our joints. The fluid that cushions and protects them, called synovial fluid, becomes thicker. Your muscles rest, your tendons tighten, and by the time you wake up, your body feels like it's wearing a suit, one size too small. You try to bend over, and your back resists. You twist to look behind you, and your neck says no. You reach for something high, and your shoulder quietly protests. This is what most people call getting old. But that's not what's happening. What's happening is you're trying to go from stillness to motion without warming up. And it's like trying to play an instrument that hasn't been tuned. It squeaks, it strains, it fights back. But here's the truth. Your joints want to move. They just want a little warning first. That's where the next step in your 5-minute morning ritual comes in. The 90-second mobility sequence. Not exercise, not a workout, just gentle, graceful movements that tell your body, I'm about to move today and I want to move well. And when you do this each morning, even for just 90 seconds, the benefits begin to add up. You reduce the risk of falls. You support your balance and coordination. You loosen tightness in the lower back, hips, knees, and shoulders. And you reduce the wear and tear that leads to arthritis, inflammation, and long-term pain. Let's walk through it together. This sequence begins right after your protein intake while your body is alert and your energy is gently rising. Start by sitting on the edge of your bed. Your feet should be flat on the floor, hands resting gently on your thighs. Take a deep breath in and out. Now we begin. Step 1, ankle rotations. 30 seconds, lift one foot slightly off the ground and begin rotating your ankle slowly 10 times clockwise, then 10 times counterclockwise. Then switch feet. Feel the joints begin to loosen. This simple move improves circulation in your lower legs and prepares your knees and hips to support you fully. Step 2, knee circles, 20 seconds. Now stand up and place your hands lightly on your knees. Gently bend your knees and begin making small circular motions, 5 to the left, 5 to the right. You're not squatting, just small, soft circles like drawing circles on the floor with your knees. This motion wakes up your joints and gently lubricates the cartilage. Step 3, side leans. 15 seconds, stand tall, feet shoulder width apart. Place one hand on your hip and slowly lean your upper body to the left. Hold for a breath. Return to center. Then lean to the right. Do this 5 times per side. This helps stretch your waist, spine, and hips areas that often become stiff during sleep. Step 4, torso twists. 15 seconds with your feet planted. Let your arms hang loose by your sides. Now gently twist your torso to the left, then to the right, like your body is a slow-moving pendulum. No jerking, just relaxed, fluid motion. Do this for 10 gentle twists total. This eases tightness in the spine and supports smoother rotation for daily movements like turning while driving or reaching behind you. Step 5, shoulder rolls, 10 seconds. Roll your shoulders backward in large, slow circles 5 times, then forward 5 times. This unlocks tension that builds up while sleeping and supports better posture all day. And that's it. 90 seconds. 5 simple moves. 1 powerful result, freedom. Now here's why this matters even more than you think. Every year, thousands of older adults lose their independence not because of disease, but because of a fall, a stumble in the kitchen, a slip in the hallway, a misstep while reaching for something too high. These aren't accidents, they're warnings, signals that the body wasn't prepared, but your body wants to be prepared. It just needs your help. And this morning mobility sequence, it's your insurance policy. It keeps the joints moving, the balance centered, the body aware. And there's a beautiful side benefit most people don't know. It lifts your mood. These gentle movements stimulate the release of feel-good chemicals, endorphins that help reduce anxiety and bring clarity to your day, especially if you live alone or are grieving or waking up with heavy thoughts. This is your way out. Movement isn't just physical, it's emotional. It tells your spirit we're still here and we still matter. And it gives your mind space to breathe before the day pulls at you. So, tomorrow morning, after your hydration, your circulation reset, and your protein intake, give your body this final moment of care. It doesn't require strength, it just requires presence. You'll finish feeling lighter, looser, and more ready for whatever your day holds. Because this isn't about stretching for the sake of it. It's about reminding your body and your soul that movement is life, and life isn't slowing down just yet. Let's keep going. There's one more step left, and this final one is for your most powerful asset, your mind. Your body is now fully awake. It's hydrated. Circulation is flowing. Muscles are nourished. Joints are loosened. You're physically ready. But there's one final step, and it's the most important of all. Your mind. Because it doesn't matter how strong your body is. If your mind feels foggy, distracted, or disconnected, you're not fully present for life. And after 65, this becomes more than a frustration. It becomes a fear. You forget names more often. You walk into a room and wonder why you're there. You start a sentence and lose the words halfway through. And quietly, you wonder, is this the beginning of decline? Let me be clear. Mental aging is not inevitable. Memory loss is not automatic, and feeling sharp, focused, and mentally alive in your 70s, 80s, even 90s is absolutely possible. But just like the body, the brain needs a warm-up, not a crossword puzzle, not a Sudoku app, just a simple, powerful 1-minute ritual that gently wakes up the mind and strengthens it over time. It's called the mental rewind, and it may be the smallest habit with the biggest impact on your long-term brain health. Here's how it works. After your body movement and breakfast, take just 1 minute to sit quietly. Close your eyes, take a deep breath in and out. Now, in your mind, walk yourself backward through the previous day. Yes, backward. Start with last night. What did you eat for dinner? What were you wearing? Who did you speak to? Then go into your afternoon. What errands did you run? What did the sky look like? Was there a smell that stood out? Then into your morning. What time did you wake up? What did you have for breakfast? What were you thinking about? Try to recall as many small, specific details as you can without judgment. Don't worry if it's not perfect. The goal is not performance. The goal is activation. Why does this work? Because memory recall, especially in reverse, lights up multiple areas of the brain all at once. It strengthens the connections between neurons. It supports something called BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor. Think of BDNF as fertilizer for your brain. It helps grow new brain cells. It repairs the ones you already have. And it builds your brain's cognitive reserve, your mental savings account for the years ahead. This is what protects you from decline. This is what helps you stay mentally flexible so when one part of the brain slows down, another can take over. And the best part, it takes just 1 quiet minute. No apps, no equipment, no pressure, just you and your own memory. Now you might be thinking, but I can barely remember what I ate this morning. That's okay. That's exactly why this works. Because the more you practice, the sharper you get. And over time, you may begin to notice words come more easily. You remember names and conversations with less effort. You feel more alert in the morning. Your thoughts flow without friction. You're more present throughout the day. And for those who are caregivers, or managing stress, or living alone, this minute of reflection gives you something else too, emotional clarity. Because as you review your day, you reconnect with your life. You remember the little things, the taste of your tea, the sound of birds outside, the smile from someone you love. And suddenly, the days don't blur together anymore. They begin to belong to you again. This ritual also helps with something deeper. It builds confidence. So many older adults carry silent anxiety about their memory. They feel embarrassed. They hide it. They stop speaking up in conversations. But this 1-minute practice begins to rebuild trust in your own mind. You realize, I'm still here. I still remember. I still matter. And that truth, that feeling, can change your entire day. So let's review how to do it. The mental rewind 1 minute to a sharper brain. Sit quietly after breakfast or movement. A calm space, no distractions. 2. Close your eyes and take a slow, deep breath. 3. Begin recalling your previous day backward. Start with the evening and move gently through afternoon and morning. 4. Focus on small, concrete details. What you ate, what you wore, who you spoke to, how you felt. 5. End with a deep breath and smile. Because you just gave your brain the most important gift of all attention. If you want to deepen this ritual over time, try going back 2 days, or add more senses sounds, smells, textures, but always keep it simple. Because the magic is not in the complexity, it's in the consistency. Every day you do this, you remind your brain how to connect, recall, and focus. You strengthen your presence, and presence is what gives every moment its meaning. So now, your morning is complete. You've hydrated your body. You've restarted your blood flow. You've fueled your muscles. You've awakened your joints. And now, you've gently lit up your mind. And you did it in 5 minutes. Not rushing, not pushing, but choosing. 5 quiet choices that may just add years to your life and life to your years. But we're not done yet, because next, we'll reflect on everything you've learned. And I'll share a final message you won't want to miss. Let's bring it all together. Let's take a moment to pause. Breathe. Feel where you are now, compared to just 5 minutes ago. Not in your schedule, in your body, in your breath, in your mind. Because what you just gave yourself is more than a routine. It's a foundation. One that's calm, clear, strong, and built on 5 simple choices. You chose to hydrate before the world asked anything of you. You chose to move your body before stiffness could settle in. You chose to feed your muscles instead of letting them quietly fade. You chose to honor your joints before pain reminded you. And you chose to wake up your mind not with pressure, but presence. 5 quiet habits. 5 small doors. And behind each one is strength, energy, independence. Not someday, but today. And here's the truth we often forget. Aging isn't something that happens to us. It's something we do with or without intention. We can drift through it, or we can shape it. We can feel like it's slipping away, or we can reclaim it one mindful morning at a time. Because real transformation doesn't always begin with grand gestures. Sometimes it begins in silence, with a glass of water, and a quiet decision that says, I'm not done. I still matter, and this day is mine. So if you've ever felt like aging meant slowing down, shrinking, disappearing, let this be your reminder. Your body still listens to how you treat it. Your brain still responds to how you challenge it, and your spirit still rises to how you greet each day. This ritual isn't about being perfect. It's about being present. And choosing, even in small ways, to live like the best is not behind you, but ahead of you. So tomorrow morning, when the world is quiet, don't reach for your phone. Reach for your water. Stand with intention. Fuel your strength. Move with grace. And remember, even 5 minutes of care can carry you through the entire day. Even 5 minutes of presence can change the way you age, and even 5 minutes of commitment can become a lifelong habit. Because the truth is, this isn't just a routine. It's a vote for yourself, for your freedom, for your future. If this video brought you even one moment of clarity, one small shift in how you see your mornings, or one spark of hope for what's still ahead, then share it with someone you love, with a parent, a neighbor, a friend, with someone who might need this just as much as you did, because sometimes the smallest habits, are the greatest gifts. And if you're ready to keep building a life of strength, clarity, and dignity, well into your 60s, 70s, and beyond, then this is your place. Right here on Golden Age Style, we create videos that honor your journey, that support your growth, that remind you your best years aren't behind you. They're still being written. So go ahead, click subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. Because every week, we bring you more real-world, science-backed, heart-first content that helps you age with power, not panic. And together, we're building a community that doesn't settle. We rise, one breath, one choice, one beautiful morning at a time. I'll see you in the next video.